So hey guys, my name is Rishabh Singh, a first year medical student from Eastern Medical College and Hospital, Comella. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, so please go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I try to provide you some educational video related to MBBS. I hope you will gain or acquire something new at the end of it. If you like, don't forget to subscribe, like and comment below. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about the viscera of stomach or the gross anatomy of the stomach. So now coming to stomach. The stomach is the widest and the most distensible part of the alimentary canal. As we all know, it's present between esophagus and the duodenum. Now coming to anatomical points. This is the viscera of stomach with parts of esophagus and duodenum. Cardiac end lies 2.5 cm left of median plane. Pyloric end lies 1.25 cm right of the median plane. And the greater trochanter falls. The left border, it falls an arc which is directed upwards, backward and to the left. So these are the anatomical points. So as you can see the situation and location of the stomach, it is basically in epigastrium region, in left hypochondrium region and in umbilical region. Now vertebral level of the stomach is from thoracic 11 vertebra to lower border of lumbar 1 vertebra. Now coming to capacity size and function of the stomach. As you can see, the capacity in infant is around 30 to 50 ml of stomach, and in adult it is around 1000 to 1500 ml, and size is about 25 cm. Now coming to functions of stomach. As we all know, store the meal for 4 to 5 hours depending on type of food. Like carbohydrate, it empties it rapidly. Protein, it empties the proteinous substance slowly. Fatty, it retains the fatty substance for longest time. Secretion of H+ ions to kill the microorganism and convert the pepsinogen into pepsinogen. Secretion of intrinsic factor to absorb vitamin B12 cobalamin. Secretion of mucus and bicarbonate to protect the gastric mucosa from SCL. Motor activity for mixing secretion H+ and pepsin with ingested food. Secretion of water for the lubrication and provide aqueous suspension to the nutrient. And coordinating motor activity to regulate the content. And mucus. Basically, mucus is present in the stomach, which prevent the auto-digestion of the organ. Waste product like urea, ammonia are also excreted by the gastric mucosa, and some of the substances are absorbed here like glucose, alcohol and some salts. Now coming to the diagram of stomach. As you can see the diagram of stomach, it consists of as you can see esophagus. When esophagus end, it end at the cardiac orifice. Now cardiac orifice is a physiological sphincter and it is behind left 7th costal cartilage, that is T11 vertebra lower border, and 2.5 cm left of the median plane. So as you can see, there is the presence of cardiac notch, fundus, cardiac and greater curvature, lesser curvature, incisura angularis, which is most dependent part, pyloric anterum, which is about 7.5 cm, pyloric canal 2.5 cm, sulcus intermedius, pyloric orifice, which is also called as anatomical sphincter. Now cardiac orifice is physiological sphincter, but pyloric orifice is anatomical sphincter. It is lower border, it is present at the lower border of lumbar 1 vertebra, and it is 1.25 cm right to the median plane. And now we will talk about the fundus. Now fundus, whenever there will be X-ray done in case of stomach, then you will see a black patch on the fundic region. This black patch basically represent the gas or bubble which is present in the fundus part. So every time you will see a black spot in X-ray of stomach, it is basically the fundic gas, which is around 50 ml, and it is the volume of fundic air in adult. Now coming to parts of stomach. As you can see, 2 orifice, cardiac and pyloric. Cardiac is physiological, pyloric is anatomical. 2 curvature, lesser and greater. 2 surface, anterior, posterior or posterior and inferior. And 3 subdivision: fundus, body, pyloric part. Fundus content is fundic gas. As we know, there is body and also the pyloric part. Now in living stomach is J-shaped. If you will see a living person's stomach, it will be J-shaped, but in cadaver it will be sickle-shaped. Now coming to clinically, stomach divided into 3 types. Now what are the types of stomach clinically? Sthenic or normal type, hypersthenic type, which is prone to duodenal ulcer, hyposthenic type or asthenic type, which is prone to gastric ulcer. Now coming to, there's a question that when a person overeat, usually chest pain occur in heart region, and we confuses that chest pain with heart attack or any heart related disease. Why? Because fundus of the stomach go to the area of heart, and fundus contain the fundic gas. So basically gas trouble may seems like it is a cardiac problem, but it is not a cardiac problem. It is due to the fundic gas. Now, as stomach consists of different parts, so first of all, we'll talk about cardiac part. It is around the cardiac orifice, fundus, the upper portion of stomach which lie above the horizontal plane, which start from the cardiac notch to other end, and the body. It forms the major part between the fundus and the pyloric enterum. Now, we will talk about pyloric part. It is funnel shaped. We all know it is funnel shaped. It consists of three parts: pyloric enterum, pyloric canal, and pylorus. Now, pyloric enterum is marked from incisura angularis, which is most dependent part, to the sulcus intermediate. It is marked there, and pyloric canal is about 2.5 centimeter. Now there is one more question, that how you will identify a pyloric end or a cardiac end. Nodular feeling is generally seen in pyloric sphincter, which help us to define the pyloric part of a cadaver. So it is an important point. Now coming to relation of stomach. As you can see, the peritoneal relation, the stomach is covered by peritoneum except where blood vessels run along its curvature, and a small area called base area of stomach post near the cardiac orifice is directly related to the left crux of diaphragm. So there the peritoneum will be absent where the blood vessels will run, or a small area which is called base area of stomach, there the peritoneum will not be present, and that area will be related to the left crux of the diaphragm. Now we will talk about the lesser omentum. What is lesser omentum? It is basically a peritoneum which extends from the lesser curvature stomach to the liver. And now we will talk about the greater omentum. Now, greater omentum anterior consists of two layers, and lower two-thirds of greater curvature to transverse colon. As you can see in the diagram, hepatogastric ligament and hepatoduodenal ligament consist of lesser omentum, and there is also the presence of gastrophrenic ligament, gastrosplenic ligament, and greater omentum. This whole part is greater omentum. Now we will talk about the contents of greater omentum. So what are the contents of greater omentum? Anastomosis of right and left gastroepiploic vessels. Right gastroepiploic vessels branch of splenic artery, and left gastroepiploic vessel is branch of splenic artery, and right gastroepiploic vessel is branch of gastroduodenal artery. Now, why greater omentum is called as abdominal policeman? It is an important question for Viva, because greater omentum wraps and in front the organ, prevent the spread of infection to general peritoneal layer. It prevents spread of infection. Basically, it prevents the spread of infection in peritoneum layer. So that's why it's called abdominal policeman. And more function is that storage of fat is there, protect against infection, and as we all know that it is the abdominal policeman. Now coming to visceral relation. As you can see, the relation of anterior superior surface is on the right surface, there will be related to gastric impression of left lobe of liver, and the left half of this surface is related to diaphragm, rib cage, the lower part of surface is related to anterior abdominal wall. It will be the relation of anterior posterior surface. Now we will come to the relation of posterior or posterior inferior surface. This is an important relation and we should know it. So the relation will be called as stomach bed. It consists of diaphragm, left kidney, left suprarenal gland, pancreas, transverse mesocolon, left colic flexure or splenic flexure of colon, and splenic artery and spleen. And you can learn it by a mnemonic called Dr. S3 kills patient mercilessly. So D for diaphragm, S3 for splenic artery, suprarenal gland left, and splenic flexure. K represent kidney left, and P represent pancreas, and M represent mesocolon transverse. As you can see the diagram, this diagram you can refer in the case of stomach bed. Stomach bed is the posterior relation of a posterior visceral relation of the stomach. Posteriorly it will relate to these many substances: diaphragm, spleen, left kidney, left suprarenal gland, left colic flexure, splenic artery, transverse mesocolon, body of pancreas. Now coming to microscopic structure of stomach from outer to inner, there will be the serous coat, which is the outermost coat, muscular coat, and submucosa coat and mucosa coat. So as you can see, serous coat, which is outermost part formed by the peritoneum, triangular area, posterior surface of cardiac end. Muscular coat, which is from outer to inner, divided in three parts: longitudinal, middle circular, inner oblique. Now longitudinal consists of superficial fiber and deep fiber, and oblique muscle is absent in lesser curvature. This is a noting point. The circular muscle is thickened at the pylorus to form a ring of muscle called pyloric sphincter. Deep muscle turn inward to join the circular muscle to help to form the pyloric sphincter. So pyloric sphincter is formed by deep fibers and circular muscle. Pyloric sphincter formation will be nodular in the viscera part. Now we will come to submucosa part. Okay, so it will consist of loose areolar tissue, blood vessel, lymph, and submucosal nerve, which is mesenteric plexus. Now we will come to mucosa coat. It represents rugae, and from inner to outer it is divided in three parts: surface epithelium, lamina propria, and muscularis mucosa. Surface epithelium of stomach will be simple columnar epithelium. Lamina propria will consist of the gastric gland, cardiac gland, pyloric gland, which will consist to form mucus secretion, and muscularis mucosa is in another part of mucus coat. A point should be noted that esophagus and lower part of the canal is non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. However, the rest of GIT is simple columnar epithelium. As you all can refer this histological structure of stomach, as I talked about, there is serosa, there is muscular layer, there is submucosa layer, and there is mucosa layer. So you can see the serosa layer, you can see muscularis layer, in which three muscular layer are present, and it is a peculiarity of stomach because in every viscera there will be longitudinal and circular. No oblique muscle layer will be present, but in stomach in muscularis layer there will be oblique muscle layer will also be present, and you can see the oblique muscular layer, and there is submucosa. This is the submucosa. As I told you, submucosa will consist of areolar tissue, blood vessels. As you can see the blood vessels and all the areolar tissue. Now we will coming to mucosa. Mucosa will consist of three part: muscularis mucosae, lamina propria, and surface epithelium. Surface epithelium is simple columnar epithelium, and you can also do the lamina propria and muscularis mucosa. Lamina propria will consist of different type of glands. Now we are going to talk about the cells in stomach. So as we all know, there is main gland, fundic and body gland. It will consist of surface epithelium or the mucous neck cells will consist of mucus secretion, will prevent the autodigestion of stomach. Parietal oxantic cell which consists of SCL, and it will also form the intestine factor of Castell, which will help in the absorption of vitamin B12 in the intestine. And there will also be the zymogen cell or the chief cell which will secrete the pepsinogen. As we all know, SL will convert the pepsinogen into pepsin. And there is alentophin cell which consists of G cell, gastrin, it will secrete gastrin, D cell, somatostatin, and EC cell which consists of histamine. So these are neuroendocrine cells. Now what are the glands present in stomach? So there will be the cardiac gland which mainly consists of mucus secreting substance, and oxantic cell is also present. Fundus and body gland which consists of chief cell, gymogenic cell, or peptic cell consists of pepsinogen. Oxantic cell, parietal cell secrete SCL and IF or intrinsic factor of Castell. Mucous neck cell will secrete mucus, and argentophil cells will secrete gastrin and serotonin. However, there is also undifferentiated cell layer will help in replacement of other cells. And pyloric gland will consist of convoluted tubular gland. Now we will talk about the peculiarity of histological structure of the stomach. So as I already discussed, in muscular cord there will be three layers, and the additional layer will be inner oblique. Rugae is present, and different type of glands are also present. Now I will talk about interior of stomach, interior surface of stomach. When stomach is cut and open, then these are the following features which you will see: gastric fold or gastric rugae, gastric pits, and gastric canal. So gastric fold or gastric rugae, temporary fold of mucous membrane. It is a temporary fold, longitudinal along lesser curvature, irregular in rest of stomach. What is the importance? Why it is present? It will increase the surface area for gastric content and allow the expansion of the organ by the gastric fold or gastric rugae. Gastric pits, small depression on the mucosal membrane in which gastric gland will open. In this pits, they are basically small openings through which the gastric gland secretion come in the stomach. And gastric canal. Now what is gastric canal? Mucous gutter which extend along the lesser curvature from the cardiac orifice to pyloric antrum. It is a vertical canal which produces, so you can see it from here. It is a vertical canal which will come from the cardiac orifice to pyloric infram. Okay, and it is formed by the contraction of oblique muscle of stomach and situated along the lesser curvature. Importance is the fluid content of stomach pass along canal, the gastric canal, without coming in contact. So as you can see the diagram, this is esophagus, this is cardiac orifice, fundus, and muscular layer, they are gastric pits in which the gastric glands will open. Serosa layer which is peritoneal layer, pyloric canal, and pyloric sphincter which is nodular again, and gastric canal, you can see a vertical canal which is called gastric canal. It will help to pass the fluid without coming in contact with the other mucosa cells. And there will be also the gastric rugae which will increase the expansion of the organ. Now we will talk about the artery supply of the stomach. As you can see the diagram, the artery supply of stomach is basically the left gastric artery. As you can see, left gastric artery, which is a branch of celiac trunk. Okay, this is a branch of celiac trunk. Now the right gastric artery, as you can see, the right gastric artery is a branch of common hepatic artery. Then the right gastroepiploic artery, which is the branch of gastroduodenal artery, and there will be left gastroepiploic artery which is a branch of splenic artery, and there will be also a presence of short gastric artery which is 5 to 7 in numbers, and they are the branch of splenic artery as they come from the spleen. Now what is the chief artery of stomach? It will be left gastric artery. Now what is basically the artery supply of fundus? It will be short gastric artery which will come from spleen, and they are 5 to 7 in number. Now stomach is derived from the foregut. Okay, now what is the mode supply of stomach? The artery supplying the stomach orifice into the long and short branches. The long branches of arteries and ostomodes with each other on the surface of stomach. The short branches enter into the muscular layer and form the plexus at different levels. Now we will talk about the venous drainage of the stomach. As you can see the diagram for the venous drainage, and the venous drainage of stomach drain directly into portal vein, which are left gastric vein, right gastric vein, left gastroepiploic artery, right gastroepiploic artery, short gastric artery. Now coming to the lymphatic drainage. As you can see the stomach is divided into the 4 regions by which different lymphatic drainage will occur. As you can see the area 1, this area, lymph drained by the left gastric lymph node. Area 2, this is the area 2, the lymph in the area drained by the pyloric node and right gastroepiploic node. Area 3, lymph drained by pancreatosplenic node. This is the lymph 3. Okay, and area 4 limb drained by right gastric node and hepatic node, which go to celiac node. Now we will talk about the nerve supply of the stomach. The stomach has both sympathetic and parasympathetic innervation. Sympathetic supply from thoracic 6 to thoracic 10 segment of the spinal cord. Parasympathetic supply by vagus nerve, which found in the lesser curvature, and function is parasympathetic. Now sympathetic function will be sphincter constriction, muscle relaxation, vasomotor. Parasympathetic will be muscle contraction, sphincter relax, and secretomotor. Now what will happen if we cut to vagus nerve? Flaccid stomach will be there. Vagus nerve will be found on anterior and posterior vaginal trunk. How vagus nerve come? Through esophageal opening of diaphragm. Now what is the emptying nerve and what is filling nerve? Emptying nerve is parasympathetic nerve, however the filling nerve is sympathetic nerve. Which surface is supplied by which vagus nerve? Developmentally, stomach has right and left surface. It rotates 90 degree clockwise, so right surface becomes posterior inferior surface and left surface becomes the anterior superior surface. That is why left vagus nerve supply anterior superior surface and right vagus nerve supply posterior inferior surface. As you can refer this diagram, this is the distribution of anterior vagal trunk. You can see the diagram, and this distribution of posterior vagal trunk. These are the nerve supply of the stomach. Now what is the nerve of Lethrejat and what is the clinical importance? The nerve of Lethrejat supply the acid and pepsin secreting areas of the stomach. So that means it will control the acid and pepsin secreting areas of the stomach. Vagus nerve largely controls the secretion of acid by the parietal cell of the cell. So vagus nerve will control, and it also have a clinical significance which I will discuss later in this lecture. Now coming to gastric ulcer, what is it and where it is common and why? It occurs in lesser curvature because it is less vascular, blood supply is less, epithelium is very thin. We know gastric canal is vertical canal, so it will pass through the lesser curvature, not from the greater curvature. Okay, so it has gastric canal, so liquid can easily injure the surface, and nerve supply is abundant. Now I will talk about the development of stomach. Gland and lining epithelium by the endoderm of foregut, and muscle rest by stenopluric layer of the right plate of mesoderm. Now development of lesser and greater omentum. Lesser omentum by ventral mesogastrium, greater omentum by dorsal mesogastrium. Developmental of artery supply will be content of foregut, and artery of foregut is celiac trunk. Now finally venous drainage go to the portal vein. We all know portal vein. Now what is portal vein? Portal vein is found by the union of superior mesenteric and splenic vein behind the neck of the pancreas, in front of inferior vena cava in the level of lumbar 2 vertebra. The tributaries are supramesenteric vein, splenic vein, right gastric vein, left gastric vein, cystic vein, and para-umbilical vein. Peculiarities will be it consists of no valves, so it will carry the nutrition. Okay, these are the peculiarities. Now coming to some clinical aspect of the stomach. Gastric carcinoma, gastric cancer commonly occur in pyloric antrum along the greater curvature of the stomach. Okay, they spread by the lymph vessels. Now what is virtue node and Trousseau signs? Now virtue node is enlarged palatable left supraclavicular node. It is due to the cancer's condition. The cancer reaches the left supraclavicular condition through thoracic duct, and Trousseau sign is the first sign of the cancer. Now what is vagotomy? As I discussed the previously about the nerve of Lethrejat, so it is related to it. A surgical process of cutting of the vagus nerve is called as vagotomy. It is done to cure the duodenal ulcer. Now what are the cause of duodenal ulcer? For extra acid secretion, pep secretion will cause the duodenal ulcer. So truncal vagotomy. In this procedure, anterior and posterior vagal trunk are cut at the lower end of the esophagus above the origin of hepatic and celiac trunk. And selective vagotomy, in this procedure both vagal trunk can cut below the origin of hepatic and celiac branches. And highly selective vagotomy. In this procedure only parietal cells of stomach are de-innervated by cutting the anterior and posterior branch, particularly nerve of Grassi of nerves of Lethrejat. The advantage of high selective vagotomy is the nerve of Lethrejat and their anterior branches are preserved. So that's why this is the highest safety in conducting highly selective vagotomy, because antral branches are preserved. Gastric emptying is normal. Now what is gastric pain? Usually referred to epigastrium region of stomach because supplied by T6 to T10 spinal segment. Now I will going to discuss about the congenital anomalies of the stomach. So congenital anomaly of stomach is congenital hypertrophic pyloric stenosis. What is this? The circular muscle in the pyloric region are hypertrophic. The result in stenosis of pyloric canal. So pyloric canal stenosis will occur. As you can see the diagram, this is normal anatomy, and in this the pyloric, basically the pyloric part will enlarge and there will be stenosis. Now what is thoracic stomach? Due to short esophagus, the stomach is displayed superiorly through the esophageal opening. So as you can see, this is diaphragm, this is esophagus. Opening is small, and a short esophagus, the stomach will displace in the thorax. That's why it is called thoracic stomach. So this completes our lecture on the stomach. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, then don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is MBBS Studies with Rishabh Singh. Thank you.